Hey, how's it going?
Great. You here to pick up my truck?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that was easy. Yeah, I knew Luther buys cars, but I had no idea it was this simple and convenient. Is there anything you guys don't do?
Not really.
Will you buy any car?
Yeah,
Even that one?
even that one.
Wow, you do it all. Shoot.
Luther Auto, over 40 locations and one of the region's largest inventories. Luther Auto, we do it all.
When life adds a new ache, stiffens your stride, cuts the fun short, slows your hustle, puts the pause on play, Summit Orthopedics Urgent Care is here to pick you up, to dust you off, to get you back to the things that matter most, and to get you back to living life at your Summit.
The pinnacle of hockey excellence. At APX Hockey, we redefine what it means to compete, to develop, and to succeed both on and off the ice. Our world-class coaching staff with decades of professional experience are not just mentors, but architects of potential. Here, it's not just about becoming elite, it's about committing to something bigger than yourself. We are APX Hockey. Achieve greatness.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. You here to pick up my truck?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that was easy. Yeah, I knew Luther buys cars, but I had no idea it was this simple and convenient. Is there anything you guys don't do?
Not really.
Will you buy any car?
Yeah,
Even that one?
even that one.
Wow, you do it all. Shoot.
Luther Auto, over 40 locations and one of the region's largest inventories. Luther Auto, we do it all.
When life adds a new ache, stiffens your stride, cuts the fun short, slows your hustle, puts the pause on play, Summit Orthopedics Urgent Care is here to pick you up, to dust you off, to get you back to the things that matter most, and to get you back to living life at your Summit.
Right back at Schwann Super Rink number 5. We move to the 15As. The first semifinal will pit Wayzata in the dark blue to our left against Rogers Blaine to our right. In the white uniforms, these teams played earlier today, and Rogers won the game 2-0. Now the teams meet in the semis. Wayzata 2-1. Wins over Bismarck 4-1 and Minnetonka 7-0 in their games yesterday. Rogers over Minnetonka 7-2. They tied Bismarck 3-3 and then again defeated Wayzata 2-0 earlier today. We are underway and play is in the Wayzata zone off to our left. And now picked up behind the goal by Wayzata's Madison Palmer around to the far side. Now it's knocked right back behind the goal. And after it for Wayzata, Bree Cowan, number 9, up the near side, trying to get out. And puck winds up back in the corner. And it's picked up there again by Wayzata's Palmer. In trouble behind the net. Rogers forechecks 2 behind the goal. And now comes to the near side, and it comes out to center. And it's picked up by Ella Pohl, number 73 for Rogers. Puck played out to center, now down to the far side, and Wayzata will break back in as Rogers is changing, and now Sydney Ripberger, number 7, comes right in front and could not get a shot on goal. Natalie Graham's in goal for Rogers. Ellie Mulcahy for Wayzata. Now to the far side, and Rogers will pick it up. A rink-wide pass to center is a little bit too far for the intended receiver, Ann Feigem, number 45, who still hustled after the puck and made Wayzata's defense make a play. Comes off to the corner, and now to the high slot where Feigem unable to control, and finally out to center. Pass to the near side, and Brooklyn Hall goes after it. 77 for Rogers, sweeps it up the boards. And now it comes loose. Centering pass intercepted, and Rogers trying to find a way to the blue line. Finally, they get it there through Jenna Geider, number 17. Plays it ahead, heads for the bench. Wayzata, Curry. Gabriella Curry over the line. 15, played it by the defender, going in, takes a shot, and a glove catch made by Grams on a shot that was headed wide. We have played 1 minute and 58 seconds of this game. Jeff Pappas, my name. Glad to have you along as Rogers faces Wayzata. We're here for all 3 of the championship games tomorrow. A very rare championship Wednesday here at Blaine. On Super Rink. Now play behind the goal. And now cleared around behind the Rogers goal, and after it there is Sydney Spildy, number 7. Now here they come, up the middle. Weaving to the right side, and Rogers looking for a way to goal, and finally it's cleared behind the net, past the defender Goodrich on that side. Now falling in the attacking zone is Geider, 17 for Rogers, and Wayzata is able to carry it out to center ice. Madison Palmer over the line, plays it in deep, teammates changing, and Pohl will go after it in the right corner for Rogers. Fans on a clearing attempt, and Natalie Glazer plays it up the slot, right on the line, and finally out to center, and Palmer has to backtrack for it. Now played at neutral ice, and finally Wayzata, well, they won't. They gain possession and comes out to center ice, and here's Omi over the line. Abigail Omi now forced behind the net, comes out the far side looking for some help, finally goes back down the wall, looking there for Skoglund, the leading scorer for Rogers. Now to the near side, Brooklyn Hall, and Hall back down trying to find Skoglund, and Wayzata is able to pick that up. Sydney Ripberger at center, and finally Wayzata does clear the zone. Down the far side, Glazer shoots it in, and will ring the boards and come around to the near side. Shar Fazenden, number 6, as the puck picked off by Rogers, and they will headman to center ice. And over the line comes Skoglund to the right. Oh, nice move by Skoglund, takes a shot, and it winds up going just wide. Puck along the near boards. And it's turned back by Spildy. Back behind the net, Wayzata's Vivian Huber over to the far side. Held at the right point and finally played out to center as Walls could not hold the puck for Rogers. Now it's in skates, finally picked up on the near side by Sheely, then lost out. Skoglund back over the line. Skoglund takes a shot, save made by Ellie Mulcahy in the Wayzata goal with number 30. Now they come off the boards and it comes in front, and a player's lost a stick in front of the goal. And it turns out it was Brooklyn Hall. Now the puck is cleared all the way back into the Rogers end. No icing as Nettie Moen goes back behind the goal, number 6. Moen banks it off the wall. Held in the high slot there by Rogers' Gabriella Curry, who takes a shot, blocked. And that is finally to the far boards, and Johnson will flip towards the wall, and it goes into the bench and out of play. We'll get a face-off at neutral ice. We have played 5 minutes and 1 second of the first period, no score. Second 15A semifinal coming up next. That is Edina White versus Centennial, Spring Lake Park. And those teams meet, of course, tomorrow for all the marbles, if you will. Now, puck cleared out to center, and Wayzata is able to track there, and Quinn Mackey tried to play it ahead, and it went over the boards again. Another face-off at neutral ice. And 8:50 to go, and they're going to take this draw at center ice. Johnson plays it ahead for Rogers. And now trying to carry in is Geider, but not able to get into the zone. Now it's offside, so we'll try it all again. 41 to go. I strongly suspect that one of the dynamic duo of Tony Scott and or Peter Rodney would be supposed to be tomorrow for those finals and educate us about these teams and some of the fun stories we see as Pohl shoots it in for Rogers. It's around on the near side. And finally cleared around to the far boards, and Wayzata will try the far side this time. Goodrich to center. And Eve Lofgren, number 13, over the line, and that goes off traffic, and Pohl will go back behind the net for it. For Rogers, starts up the middle. Pohl plays it in, and now back behind the net for Wayzata. Quinn Mackey to the far side. It's going to be held in there by Spildy at the right point. And played around behind the goal. Finally, it's picked up by Wayzata, and here's Ripberger. Over the line to the right, Ripberger working against Merrill Walls, who takes her to the boards. Ripberger centers it. It's intercepted and out of the near side. Pohl plays it ahead, but it only as far as Glazer takes a shot, and that goes off the traffic and wide. Now Huber for Wayzata, down the wall. And finally it's poked on out, and Rogers will play it all the way back into the Wayzata zone, and that's going to be icing. So we'll get a face-off. And we'll come all the way back for the face-off in the Rogers end of the ice. To the right of Natalie Graham is in goal. From the draw, Huber can't see the net, plays it around behind. Now it runs to the corner. 2 from each team going in there, and digging it out finally is Ripberger. Behind the goal, tries to feed the point, and Glazer, but it's deflected, and now Ripberger off the wall, puts one wide to the far side. After it for Rogers is Omi, and they still can't play it out. Cowan in for Wayzata to help, and now a centering pass is intercepted, and here comes Rogers, a pass too far. At center ice for Hall, and Wayzata will backtrack. Now Spildy plays it in, and it winds up to the right of the goal. Chasing after it there is Huber behind the net for Wayzata. To the far side, and now a rink-wide pass. Good head man, and now here's Curry. Over the line, Curry goes to the right. Pohl takes her, and a shot right on, and a save made by Grahams with a glove right at crossbar height with 6:40 to go in the opening period. Again, these teams played earlier today. Rogers won it 2-0. And as a result, they're the home team for this game. pass over to the left side for Wayzata and Quinn Mackey. Shot and a stick save there by Grams. Puck off to the right boards, and Rogers trying to play it up the wall. Ellie Johnson gets it and will carry to center. Down the wing. Over the line. Looks to center, puts it on goal instead, and it's sticked away by Mulcahy. Now a centering pass. Good chance in front, and a shot by Johnson is saved by Mulcahy, and we'll get a face-off with 6:10 now to go in the opening period. Good day of hockey here at Schwann's Super Rink. One of the largest facilities of its type on the planet. Of course, there's 8 rinks here. 4 Olympic size, 4 NHL size. This would be one of the smaller ones as the puck comes out to center, and here comes Wayzata. It's Zara Thomas playing it off to the boards, now headed off, and Rogers will start back. And this is Skoglund over the line, and Skoglund goes in against the wall, gives way, now comes around. Here's a wraparound attempt that didn't come into anything as the puck is now cleared rink wide to center ice for Wayzata, and Curry is after it. Curry is headed off there by Spildy, who plays it to the near sideboards. Now cleared around behind for Hall. Brooklyn Hall for Rogers on the far side, and it's finally dug out. And it's picked up there by Omi behind the goal. Excuse me. Now cleared back around behind the net, and Wayzata after it. It's Michaela Klesk, number 11. And now dropped to the left point and hops the stick of Huber and comes out to center. 5 minutes to go in the first period. No score. It's 15A semi-final game. Here's Walls over to the near side for Rogers, and they're still having trouble getting out. Now played out to center ice, where it's picked off by Klesk, who comes back in, and then that's knocked away by Ella Pohl back out to center. And Wayzata to the near side. Lofgren shoots it in, and going after it for Rogers is Walls. Rings the net, plays the puck to the far side, and now they break out up the middle, but unable to hold the puck at center ice. There's Jordan Dorsey, and now play back, and Dorsey tried to bring it in, but had a teammate offside and had to let up. Now here comes Sharfazenda, number 6 for Wayzata. Going back behind the goal, and a nice play there by Spildy to take the puck away. Comes to the boards on the far side, but now it's intercepted, and Ripberger puts it in front, and a point-blank save, rebound, score! And Wayzata Sharfazenda makes it 1-0. And the time of the goal is 9 minutes and 56 seconds of the first period. We'll wait for assists, but it's 1-0 Wayzata. Presenting the leading scorer for Wayzata, and that is her 6th goal of this tournament. And the assist going to Quinn Mackey at 9:56, 6th goal of the tournament. Now played out to center, and here she comes again. Zenden over the line, and then laid a pass up the slot, and finally winds up behind the goal, and Moan for Rogers plays over to the far side. Sheely drops it to the left point. Here's a shot and a glove catch made by Natalie Grams in goal for Rogers as we have 3:15 now to go in the first period, a 1-0 lead. Sharfazenden, the leading scorer for Wayzata. Now has 6. And puts a shot on goal from the faceoff. To check that, that was Zara Thomas, and a save made by Grams right in the midsection, and a faceoff coming. Centering pass off sticks, comes to the near side, and crashing in from the point is Glazer. And now it winds up in the corner. Centering pass steered to safety behind the goal, and here's Geider to the far side. And now Rogers able to play out to center, but no farther, and Glazer turns and shoots it right back in for Wayzata. Goes around to the far side. Walls plays it up the boards, and then it came right back. Played ahead to the right, and when Rogers still can't get out of the zone. Now here's a shot deflected from Zara Thomas that goes wide, followed her shot, and now plays it back to the right point to Glazer. Now a pass over to the left side, and here's Huber taking a shot. Pad save for Grams. Puck along the far boards, and Rogers just having a hard time getting out right now. As the puck comes to the right side, Wayzata's changing defenders as Walls plays it back behind the goal for Spildy. Banked up the boards, and Wayzata finished a defense change and still held the zone. And now finally it comes out to center, and it's Goodrich feeding over to the left side for Vivian Huber. Over the line, and Huber takes a shot, and a glove catch made by Grams, and we'll get a face-off. So Wayzata, since their goal, is really taken over. Face-off to the right of the Rogers goal, 2:03 to go, first period. And around behind the net by Moan for Rogers. And now they're able to carry it to center ice. And Skoglund after it into the Wayzata zone. Can't win the race for the loose puck as it goes behind the net. Now cleared around to the far side for Klesk, and it comes right out to center. Skoglund into the zone. Cuts to the slot. Skoglund lays a pass off to the near side. Here's a shot right on. And a save made by Mulcahy as Hall came in, took a good pass from Skoglund, who had an opportunity, gave it up for a better one in the near circle to Hall, and made the goaltender move, and Mulcahy was able to keep position and make the save. 1:33 to go in the first. Left point, Moan shoots, and it goes wide. Karam, Omi feeds to the right side boards, and now it'll come to the right side. Here's a centering pass for Skoglund, and a shot, and a save made. And Mulcahy and Skoglund can make something happen off the board. Skoglund, the leading scorer for Rogers in this tournament, 6 goals and 1 assist. Play in the circle, and there's a shot. Save made off Omi by Ili Mulcahy. 1:08 to go. Now played, and over to the near side. Mullen had vacated the zone. Last minute of play, puck comes back to Pohl on the right. And now a pass to the near side for Hall. And here comes Brooklyn Hall over the line. Shot off the defender. Skoglund follows. Puck comes to the front of the net, and finally swept away from all of them to the near side. And the puck comes out to center ice, and our first penalty of the game is going to go against Rogers. It's going to be a trip. Wayzata is going to get a power play. And it'll be Nettie Moan going. "13 minutes and 17 seconds is the time of the penalty in the first period. And a face-off comes up to the left of the Rogers goal. First power play of the game. And it comes up the slot, picked up and carried to center ice. And here's Omi over the line, closing into the circle, now forced around behind the net. And he comes to the far boards, still has it, and then finally plays it down deep. Nice piece of penalty killing there. 24 seconds to go in the first period. Cleared around on the near side for Fazenden. Now Skoglund tried to bring it in front. And Fazenden, with 13 seconds to go in the period, comes down the near wing. Only goal of the game. Plays it in deep. Karam off the back of the goal, and Pohl in the near side corner with 6 seconds to go. And that'll do it for the first period of play. And Wayzata takes a 1-0 lead after one on the goal by Fazenden at 9:56. This is Danglefest 2025 here on the Youth Hockey Hour.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. You here to pick up my truck?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that was easy. Yeah, I knew Luther buys cars, but I had no idea it was this simple and convenient. Is there anything you guys don't do?
Not really.
Will you buy any car?
Yeah,
Even that one?
even that one.
Wow. You do it all. Shoot.
Luther Auto, over 40 locations and one of the region's largest inventories. Luther Auto, we do it all.
When life adds a new ache, stiffens your stride, cuts the fun short, slows your hustle, puts the pause on play, Summit Orthopedics Urgent Care is here to pick you up, to dust you off, to get you back to the things that matter most, and to get you back to living life at your Summit.
Second period from Schwann Super Rink, number 5. Jeff Pappas with you as we move along. 1-0 for Wayzata in the first 15A semifinal here at Danglefest 2025. New Year's Eve finals tomorrow. So we're starting a little bit earlier. 8 morning games run through the early afternoon. 3 championship games for you tomorrow here on the hub. As the puck picked up and played into the zone by Wayzata's Curry from the faceoff. And still a minute 10 of power play for Wayzata as the period moves on. Now it comes to the left point, picked up there by Mackey. And finally tipped out to center, and here's Skoglund. Closing in, Lucy Skoglund. And takes it right to the front of the net, and then used the defender as a brace and tried to come across and take the shot. That's a smart play by Skoglund. Could have been taken wide, but opted to back into the defenders and use them as shields to come in. Or as braces, rather. And we'll get a face-off to the right of the Wayzata goal. 13:36 to go in the second period. Goodrich on the face-off for Wayzata, and puck played back into the Rogers end. They have 49 seconds to kill as the puck comes to center ice. And now carried in over the line by Goodrich for Wayzata, closing right in and puts it just wide. Now played down by Huber for Wayzata. Now back into the Wayzata zone after it is Klesk. And pursued there by Geider. Now out to center ice. Here comes Wayzata back. 25 seconds to go. And Lofgren, sharp angle, centered it, blocked by Spildy. And now comes loose in front, and it's picked up by Pohl for Rogers. Near wing pass, Skoglund comes over the line. Skoglund tried to play it around the defender and could not drag the puck along with. Now Spildy out at center ice, has it, and comes over the line and plays it in. Penalty's over, and Rogers is back at full strength. Now cleared towards the left point. Spildy holds down the wall, looking there for Olivia Mortensen. Now puck comes out to center, and Wayzata plays it ahead. Pohl will chase after it, and it will be icing against Wayzata. We have played 1 minute and 40 seconds of period number 2, a 1-0 contest. The third game out of 4 here at Schwann Super Rink today. Wayzata from the faceoff plays it around behind the net. And it's held at the right point, and here's a shot by Walls. Ends up going wide. Now cleared to center, and here comes Glazer for Wayzata. Player on the left is Ripberger over the line. Ripberger takes the pass, shoots, save, rebound, right into the goaltender, loose at the left edge. And we'll get a faceoff. And boy, 2-on-1 there for Wayzata, and a great opportunity. Glazer and Ripberger coming in 2-on-1. And Graham's equal to the task.
Yeah, no problem. Gotta do it.
Well, I miss all the fun. I beg your pardon, as Wayzata just scored to make it 2-0. Sarah Thomas with the goal. An assist to Scarlett Sheely at 6:44. Now 2-0 Wayzata, same score the Rogers beat them by earlier in the day, but now 6:35 to go in the second period, and need to play with some urgency here for Rogers. Here in the semifinals. Glazer for Wayzata will bank it all the way down the ice, and that'll be an icing. So a offensive zone faceoff coming. 6:20 to go, second period. 2-0 now Wayzata. Thomas's first goal of the tournament. Pole from the face-off. Plays it to the wall, and now Rogers trying to come off the wall and make something happen. Off to the far wing now is Omi. Plays it down. Now behind the net, Rogers circling, and this is Skoglund off to the far side. Played down there by Moen for Rogers. And now Pole trying to help out. We get a whistle, and we have a penalty coming. And a rough is indicated. And it's going to be against Rogers, and it's going to be against Omi. And the time of the penalty is 8 minutes and 13 seconds of the second period, second power play of the game for Wayzata. Both the penalties have gone against Rogers here, and we'll take a face-off back to the right of Natalie Graham's in the Rogers goal. 5:47 left now in period 2. And their most recent goal scorer, Zara Thomas, is out for the face-off. Now cleared to the near side. And finally, Spildy behind the goal for Rogers will play off to the far side. And here's Ellie Johnson. Johnson laying it back behind the Wayzata goal. 5:28 to go. Finally out to center ice. And Geider trying to disrupt, and does. Geider plays it into the zone and then is wedged out of the play there by Thomas as the puck comes to the near side boards, and Wayzata's Ripberger plays to center. And now at the line, Geider for Rogers breaks it up again, but carrying on for Wayzata is Mackey. Quinn Mackey shooting, and a glove catch made by Grams. Goal with 4:51 to go in the second period. 1:04 in the power play. Face off to the right, and Cowan will take it and win it for Wayzata. Eventually, puck off to the far boards. Now Rogers trying to dig it out, and they do carry it to center ice. Skoglund now back in. Here comes Wayzata. Centering pass steered behind the net by Pohl. 40 seconds to go in the penalty. And now back behind the net. Pohl chases after it, but it's going to wind up in the possession of Cowan for Wayzata on the far side. And now a centering pass comes to the circle. Swiping at it is Curry. Now to the high slot, controlled by Glazer. Down for Wayzata. Behind the goal, comes out the near side. Throws it across, picked off by Pohl. But carrying on, Huber shoots. It goes wide of the net. Now a centering pass again. Huber in the high slot, throws it across. And boy, a lot of space there on the right side of the goal. And the puck trickled wide. 5 seconds in the penalty. Puck cleared off to the boards as Helker knocks it away. Now it's cleared all the way back. And now right out of the penalty box, here's a chance. And Rogers has a breakaway. And boy, Omi came in and right out of the penalty box picked up a breakaway. Now here's a shot that goes wide from Brooklyn Hall. 3:28 to go in the second period. Now a centering pass, loose, and it winds up going behind the net. And finally, poked out to center. Wayzata gets control. And over the line, Huber. Long shot, a stick save made, and the puck off to the left boards, and they're having trouble with it there. And finally, it's cleared up the wall to the right point to Huber. And back down the wall with 3 minutes to go in the second period. It's 2-0 Wayzata here in the 15A first semifinal. Rogers will pick it up and carry out. And they lose the puck right at the blue line. Turned back by Lofgren for Wayzata. Now out to center. Walls reaches for it, can't get it, and now gets some help from Skoglund, who starts back. Skoglund gets past one. Comes over the line. Skoglund goes right, has a path to the net, takes a sharp angled shot, and it goes over the glass and out of play. Well, Lucy Skoglund has some good skill there. And created her own line rush and went in and got a chance at goal. 2.5 to go in the second period. Face-off now coming to the left of the Wayzata goal, Mulcahy. On the far side as Fasman plays it ahead, and it comes on out to center. 2:20 to play, and Rogers Omi plays it in. Now shot rink wide. It's going to come all the way back down the ice, and that will be an icing call against Wayzata with 2:10 left in the second period. We'll drag it back for a face-off. Geider on the face-off against Cowan for Wayzata. And Rogers trying to gain control, but it's picked up finally by Ripberger, who plays it out, and it's going to come back into the Rogers zone. Spildy is in a race for it there with Fazenden, and now it winds up behind the net. Off to the far side, Cowan, and Cowan wins the battle along the boards with Feigem. Now Rogers trying to play it out. Geider comes in front of the goal, and Spildy lays it ahead to the right, and now it's played out to center, and here comes Geider over the line, and then lost it, trying to cut it to the slot, trying to play it around Quinn Mackey. Now we get the puck behind the net, and Wayzata in control with 1:24 to go in the period, out to center, and here's Pohl controlling. Pohl over the line. Works to the right, takes the shot, and a glove save by Mulcahy in a face-off. Coming up in the Wayzata zone with 1:12 to go in the second period. Fazenden in the first period, Thomas in the second for Wayzata. From the draw, cleared around to the far side for Wayzata as Curry tries to play it out. Held there, but only momentarily, and it comes out to center ice as we hit the last minute of play. Here's Pohl with it as the last player spinning, trying to get around Scarlett Sheely, who really made a nice forecheck move there. Now loose at center, and Dorsey tries to play it in for Rogers and does. Now it winds up at center ice, and here comes Wayzata again. Thomas over the line, tied up by the defense in the form of Alexi Ajabesson. Now it's in the corner, 24 seconds to go in the period. Wayzata trying to work out, but they're perfectly happy to have the puck right where it is, right behind the Rogers goal. And now cleared over to the far side as Klesk tries to maneuver ahead. 10 seconds to go, and Rogers picks it up, and it's a deflected pass out to center ice, and they will carry into the zone with 1 second to go, and that'll do it for the period. And our score after two is Wayzata 2, Rogers nothing. We will take a quick break and come back with the third period of our first 15A semi next here on the Youth Hockey Hub.
Pinnacle of hockey excellence. At APX Hockey, we redefine what it means to compete, to develop, and to succeed both on and off the ice. Our world-class coaching staff with decades of professional experience are not just mentors, but architects of potential. Here, it's not just about becoming elite, it's about committing to something bigger than yourself. We are APX Hockey. Achieve greatness.
Third period from Schwann Super Rink number 5. It is 2-0 Wayzata over Rogers as the third period gets underway. 15A semifinals. Jeff Papis with you on the call today from this wonderful facility. And here comes Skoglund over the line from the faceoff. Skoglund, backhanded centering pass and a point-blank shot. Turned away as Omi got to the net. Now Skoglund again. Omi. And then lost it to Cowan for Wayzata. Cleared up the slot. Spildy closing, taking a shot. Save, rebound. And Hall winds up putting the rebound right into the goaltender, Mulcahy, and we'll get a stoppage and a face-off. So a sharp start for Rogers in the third period, but they need a goal. They beat Wayzata 2-0 earlier today and are having the favor returned to them at the moment with 13:28 to go. Ryder on the face-off and winds up in the corner, played around by Klesk. And it's going to be held there. Walls at the half wall, now plays it down for Johnson, who has to chase it. And Wayzata will pick it up and carry out. Pass to center ice is stolen away by Walls excuse me, at center. And now Johnson back and had it taken away from behind, and it's cleared all the way back into the Rogers zone. Spildy goes back for it and has to take it behind the net. And then has trouble there with a forechecker. And now cleared to the right point. Glazer then lays it back down to the near corner. Spildy there for Rogers. Comes around the far side and cuts up the middle. Spildy at center, and then it ran away. Ran off the blade, and now back to Walls in the Rogers zone. Rink wide pass to the near side. Defender comes up. Glazer and plays it back into the Rogers zone as Goodrich goes back there along with Spildy. And finally it's picked up by Rogers, and they will play up the near wing. Pass to center ice and over the line. Here comes Rogers with Helker. And now playing it down is Jordan Dorsey for Rogers, leaving it up the wall, and now controlled by Klesk for Wayzata. Cleared to the line, and Hall will let it come out to center. Hall spins, gets past one, gets past two, comes over the line and shoots, and a save by Mulcahy off the glove. And off to the left boards where Klesk will play it, and it's going to be held in. Here comes Rogers off the wall. It runs up the slot, held there by Hall. With a long reach, plays it down the wall, and now loose in the circle. Finally picked up, and Rogers trying to center it there for Helker, and now it's picked up on the far side by Goodrich and cleared all the way down the ice. That'll be icing on Wayzata with 11.5 minutes to play in the third period. From the draw, Rogers in control. Pass over to the near side. And then played around behind the goal by Mortensen. Now Wayzata will pick it up and play to the point. Finally it comes out, and Skoglund is there to play it over the line. Skoglund goes down, and we're going to get a penalty against Wayzata. First one of the game. It's going to be a hook. It will go against Fazenden. It will be a power play for Rogers. Time of the penalties, 2 minutes and 53 seconds of the third period, and Rogers gets a power play that they could use. Hall from the face-off plays it down into the circle. Let's see what Rogers' power play looks like here. Here's a shot that goes behind the net. Now Skoglund, Spildy, back for Skoglund, up the slot. Hall takes the shot. And save made by Mulcahy off to the near boards. Now behind the net, Spildy again. Now up the slot, Hall. Skoglund closing in. Skoglund shoots, missed the net. And now the puck is cleared ahead of Wayzata, trying to clear to the line. They do play it, but they can't get it out. Spildy is in there along with Skoglund. The puck comes free. Skoglund has it. Works up the slot. Now crosses to the right. And then takes it back on a pass from Pohl. Here comes Skoglund weaving in, putting it to the left edge. Spildy had a whack at it, and a save made by Mulcahy and a face-off. Minute 2 of power play for Rogers. It's a good movement there, but not able to find a way past Ellie Mulcahy. Face-off to the left of the goal. Pohl to Hall. Lost it. And a race for it out to center ice, and Curry couldn't quite get to it, but carrying on for Wayzata is Cowan off to the boards on the far side, and it's pinned in against the wall there with 40 seconds of power play to go. And it's dug out. Curry to the left point. Mackey couldn't get a shot through. And now it's played back behind the Rogers goal. And now it will be kicked out, and here is Pohl. Over the Wayzata line, backhanded centering pass, gets past everyone. Mackey to the left corner, has it with 14 in the power play. And now Skoglund centers, and that's stick behind by the goaltender. And now comes around to the near side, 5 seconds in the penalty. The puck goes behind the net. Now a pass out to Hall, high in the slot. Hall off to Skoglund. Working in Skoglund as Wayzata comes back to full strength. Skoglund plays it down behind the net. And still in possession. Skoglund drops it to Hall. And Hall shoots. It's deflected. It's loose at the right edge. They whack away. And puck is still unfrozen. Loose at the right edge. Skoglund picks it up with 8:45 to go. And then Skoglund tried to drop it up the wall. That's the end of a very long shift for Rogers. But again, they keep it in. Skoglund goes down. Centering pass. And it's loose. Here's a shot from in tight by Omi. Loose. And after it, Pohl comes off to the right boards, now cleared all the way down the ice, and everyone will get a chance for a line change here as the puck goes for an icing with 8:20 left and a 2-0 lead for Wayzata, but Rogers really not just knocking at the door, they're hammering away at it and not able to find a way to the net. Face off to the left of the Wayzata goal. Geider on the draw. Now picked up on the left by Hubert and cleared up the wall. Klesk trying to get it out and can't. Once Rogers holds the zone again. Now to the far boards. It's underneath players there. And it's dug out. Geider now in the slot. Kick towards the net. And it's out of the goaltender. Still free. And now here's a chance for Walls from the circle. Shoots and a save made by Mulcahy in a faceoff. Coming up in the Wayzata zone. We're down to 7:48 to go. Time becoming a real factor here for Rogers. And after good shift by the second line, now they send out fresh legs. Dorsey on the faceoff as the puck comes to the left edge of the goal and finally behind. After it there, Glazer for Wayzata reverses to the near side. Lofgren trying to play it ahead. It comes out to center. And Rogers in control. Walls feeds it across to the right for Helker. And it's shot on into the zone. Rink wide. And Hubert plays it up the board. Spildy at the hash marks pinching. And now a centering pass comes up the slot. Back to Spildy. Shot through traffic. And that's a knuckler right on. And Mulcahy made the save there. So another face-off coming. Sidney Spildy that time with a kind of a knuckling shot from the high slot. And Mulcahy was able to pick it out. And we'll get a face-off as Skoglund's line is back on now. 7:15 to go. Now here's a chance in tight. And it goes behind the net as Mortensen tried to play it. Now loose in the slot, chance for Rogers, a backhanded shot, and that goes off the traffic. Mortensen to the boards to Skoglund behind the net, and Skoglund picks it up, looking for help, centers it. Oh, point blank chance there for Mortensen, and another stop by Mulcahy. So we'll get another draw in the Wayzata zone. 6:52 to play, and Rogers putting on all the pressure now, but number 30, Ellie Mulcahy, standing in the way for Wayzata. Geider on the face-off. Now Pohl plays it down the wall, and after it there is Geider behind the net looking to center it. Now here's Huber for Wayzata. Clears it around on the right side, and now played out and back into the Rogers zone, and Pohl will chase after it, pursued there by Ripberger. And now played up the wall, but not out, and Rogers will have to go back for it. Here's Pohl cutting in front of the net. Plays it ahead and not able to Get it past Feigem now. A centering pass comes through to the far side, and it's Ellie Johnson in the right corner trying to. Oh, it comes in front of the net. A second chance for Fazenden, and now it's knocked off to the boards at the right point with just over 6 minutes to go. Centering pass. It comes up the slot, and Huber plays it off to the left. Now Pohl banks it to the wall, and it's played around behind the goal, and it's going to be picked up by Brooklyn Hall. And Hall, well over-skated, and it worked out well for her as it came right back to her. Now Hall coming back and angling over the line as Rogers is getting a change. Hall by herself left a drop pass to no one, and now it's picked up along the left boards as the line change finally arrives, and we get a whistle. And we're going to get, I believe, an offside. We'll get a face-off at neutral ice with 5:38 left. And Dorsey wins the face-off for Roger. That's going to be icing. And Nettie Moen unhappy with herself as she shot the puck in from her own side of center ice and knew it. Now the face-off goes all the way back to the right of Grams. 5:31 to go. Comes to the right edge, and a stop made there by Grams as the puck played out, and here comes Rogers. Dorsey upended as she comes in over the line, and now it's picked up and played in by Wayzata. That should be icing, and it is with 5:12 to go, and that'll allow Rogers to make another line change, and Skoglund's unit comes back on. Skoglund against Goodrich on the faceoff. Hall from the faceoff plays it to the corner, and getting there is Mortensen. Had to go back to Hall. Now it comes in front. Skoglund weaves past one, takes a shot, and a save by Mulcahy. Came across with the shooter and made a good stop. Now out to center. And Hall has it for Rogers. And it's broken up at center. Here's Lofgren coming in over the Rogers line. Well, Lofgren to the far side, now picked up by Walls. Centers it, they score! It's 3-0. Goodrich is going to get that goal with 4:38 to go, and that is a huge step towards Wayzata reaching the final. Greta Goodrich. With the goal for Wayzata, first goal of the tournament, and it comes at 9:22 of the third period. Huber and Glazer get assists for Wayzata. It's 3-0, 4:22 to go, and Spildy trying to play it out, and does, for Rogers. And now Huber, rink wide. Glazer, that pass picked off in the center circle by Spildy, who relays it into the zone. And now behind the net, Wayzata gaining possession. Klesk to the point and finally out to center, and Spildy will come over for it. Spildy lays it ahead on the near side, unable to get it past, and now will pick it up again and lay it ahead, where it's intercepted by Huber. Into the Wayzata zone it comes, and here's Feigem dropping it to the right point, and Pohl takes a shot that's off the traffic. Now Wayzata's Glazer controls on the far side with 3 minutes and 35 seconds to play, and Wayzata with a foot and a half into the finals here as the puck banked out to center ice, and Pohl controls it. Pohl spins, trying to get around Cowan, and now lays it back to Spildy in the Rogers zone. Played up to the near side and knocked on into the zone by Hodgson, and now it's controlled by Wayzata and Huber behind the goal. They lose it, and a pass to Spildy, top of the right circle. As the goalie sees it, here's a steal, and now here comes Wayzata back Fazenden over the line, takes a shot and missed wide to the near side. Long carom picked up by Ripberger along the boards. And Ripberger and Spildy go to the boards. The sevens come together. Now loose and finally picked up behind the net. And Rogers will pick it up with 2:47 to go. And skated off at center ice was Dorsey. And now carrying on, Omi over the line, but it's 1 against 3. Wayzata changing lines behind her, or Rogers rather. Now here is Lucy Skoglund. Now on the far side, that's going to be a penalty as Sheely was knocked down. And that penalty will be against Geider, I believe, for Rogers. And the penalty is a straight rough. And it comes at 11 minutes and 39 seconds of the third period. Wayzata gets a power play, their third. And it is a fortuitous one for them. Obviously, they don't need to score. But they bring the puck to the net anyway. And now here's Glazer in the high slot, feeds it off to the right. And controlled now by Curry. Drop back to Glazer. Swings it over to the left, and a shot, stick save made off of Mackey, who gets it back at the left point, and then had a shot blocked by Skoglund, and now Wayzata will pick it up off a turnover, try to come in front. They play it past Pole, and then a shot behind the goal. Sheely now loose again as Thomas took a shot. And now it's gloved at the left edge by Grams with 1:41 to go. Wayzata doing what you're supposed to do. Although they don't need to score, obviously, keeping it deep and keeping possession. .140 to play. And Wayzata still in control from the face-off. Glazer feeds the far circle. And that's Klesk. Now flips a shot on goal, and no trouble there for Grams. 1:26 to go. 105 in the penalty. And Geider. Played down by Klesk to the right of the goal, up the slot between the defenders and all the way back. Johnson racing after it, but will lose out to Huber, who clears around to the far side for Klesk. And now Wayzata trying to clear through center. That's stolen away. And it's Ellie Johnson again over the line. So we hit the last minute. And out to center. Walls will pick it up and try to play it in. Now loose at center. And Feigum plays it ahead. Wayzata gets control. Here's Lofgren shooting it on in. And then heads for the bench as Rogers, Nettie Moen, with 40 seconds to go, comes out the right side. They have 19 seconds to kill in this penalty. And down the wing, Feigum over the line, and it's played in deep. After it, there's Klesk for Wayzata. Clears around with 30 seconds to play. Now on the near side, it comes to the left point, and Ellie Johnson trying to hold it, and it comes out. Here's Wayzata's Fazenden back down the near wing, and gets past the defenders, closing in, centers it. Here's a chance. Oh, what a nice save post to post there off Ripberger from Natalie Grams with 17 seconds to play. And good pass across. Tip on goal and a better save for Natalie Grams. 17 seconds to go. Puck behind the goal, and it's picked up there by Geider. Cleared around on the near side. No, excuse me, Geider just got out of the penalty box, so that would be correct. And now, with 5 seconds to go, it's along the boards, played down the wall, and that'll do it. And Wayzata scores a goal in each period and shuts out Rogers, gets revenge for an earlier 2-0 loss today, and they make the finals in the 15As with a 3-0 win. Fazenden, Thomas, and Goodrich scoring the goals, one in each period. And a very fine performance by Wayzata, and they await the winner of our final game of the evening, Edina White versus Centennial Spring Lake Park, and the winner of that one will face this Wayzata team tomorrow. And we'll be right back with our 4th game of the night. This is the 2025 Danglefest on the Youth Hockey Hub.